Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol, baby. Are you ready to dive into the hottest news shaking up Minnesota? We've got a blockbuster update on our new cornerback, Isaiah Rodgers, and trust me, this one's gonna get you hyped. Fresh off a Super Bowl win with the Eagles, Rodgers is bringing some serious championship swagger to our purple and gold. But here's the teaser. He's got a bold vision for the Vikings in 2025, and he's not just talking the talk. Ready to find out what's got our defense buzzing? Let's jump into the action. First off, let's set the stage. Isaiah Rodgers, a speed demon who lit up the field for Philly last season, signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Vikings back in March. Why Minnesota? Well, Rodgers has been a fan of defensive coordinator Brian Flores since his UMass days, and he sees something special brewing in Egan. After a year as a key rotational player for the Eagles, racking up 26 tackles and 4 passes defended in 15 games, he's now locked in as our CB2, starting opposite Pro Bowler Byron Murphy Jr. This guy's got the pedigree, the speed, and the hunger to make waves. So, what's his mindset coming into this new chapter? Here's where it gets juicy. Rodgers isn't just here to fill a roster spot. He's got his eyes on a Super Bowl ring of his own with the Vikings. When teammates asked to peek at his shiny Eagles championship ring, he shut them down with a grin, saying, "Wait until we get our own." That's the kind of confidence we love. Right, Vikings fans? What do you think? Can Rodgers help lead us to that ultimate prize? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Picture this. It's a crisp July day at TCO Performance Center, and Rodgers is already turning heads in training camp. Head coach Kevin O'Connell can't stop raving about him, calling him ultra-consistent, confident, never off balance. That's high praise from a coach who knows a thing or two about winning. Rodgers' 4.27 40-yard dash speed from his 2020 draft days is no joke, and it's showing up big time. He's jumping routes, picking off passes, and even flashing potential as a kick returner. Vikings Nation, are you as pumped as I am about this guy's versatility? But it's not just about flashy plays. Rodgers brings a football IQ that Flores loves, something he's been tracking since Rodgers was balling out at UMass. In minicamp, he was snagging interceptions in 7-on-7 drills and communicating like a veteran in Flores' complex defensive schemes. With a secondary that led the NFL with 24 interceptions last season, Rodgers is stepping into a unit that's ready to dominate again. Can he match or even top Byron Murphy's 6 picks from 2024? Let's hear your predictions below. Now, let's talk about that bold prediction Rodgers dropped during training camp. When asked about his goals for 2025, he didn't hold back. "I put 15 in my notes," he said, aiming for a jaw-dropping 15 interceptions. Yeah, you heard that right, 15. That would shatter the NFL record set by Dick Night Train Lane in 1952. Even if he's half joking, Rodgers is clearly aiming high, and with Flores' aggressive blitz-heavy system, he might just get the chances to make it happen. What's your take? Can he hit double digits? Rodgers' confidence isn't just talk. It's backed by a defense that's stacking up to be a powerhouse. The Vikings beefed up their defensive line this offseason with studs like Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. Rodgers says this front takes even more pressure off the secondary than Philly's did, and that's saying something. With those big boys up front disrupting quarterbacks, Rodgers and Murphy could be feasting on errant passes all season long. Who else is excited to see this D-line secondary combo in action? Let's zoom in on Rodgers' fit in Flores' scheme. Brian Flores, our defensive mastermind, has a history of turning good corners into great ones. He's been high on Rodgers since his college days, calling him a fast playmaker with a knack for game-changing plays. Rodgers loves how Flores' system sets up DBs for success, with plenty of opportunities for picks that change the game. Vikings fans, what's the one play you're hoping to see from Rodgers this season? Now, let's get to the quarterback connection. Rodgers is all in on our young signal caller, J.J. McCarthy. After joint practices with the Patriots, he praised McCarthy's on-field maturity and underrated arm. That's a big endorsement from a guy who's played with some elite QBs in Philly. With McCarthy poised to take the reins in 2025, Rodgers sees a team ready to compete for a title right now. Are you buying the McCarthy hype? Or do you think he needs more time? Let me know in the comments. Rodgers' journey to Minnesota is a story in itself. Drafted in the 6th round by the Colts in 2020, he carved out a role as a return specialist before emerging as a starter in 2021 with 3 interceptions. A gambling suspension sidelined him in 2023, but he bounced back with the Eagles, proving his resilience. Now, with a fresh start in Minnesota, he's ready to re-establish himself as a top-tier corner. What's your favorite redemption story in the NFL? The vibes in the Vikings locker room are electric, and Rodgers is a big part of that. He's already bonding with Murphy, playing Call of Duty and talking smack about who's got better ball skills. Murphy even admitted Rodgers might have the edge. The cornerback room, with young talent like Mekhi Blackmon and Jeff Okudah, is a brotherhood with no drama, just a shared hunger to make plays. How important is that team chemistry for a Super Bowl run? Vikings Nation. Let's talk special teams for a sec. Rodgers isn't just a defensive star. He's got serious juice as a kick returner. With the Vikings needing a spark in the return game after relying on Ty Chandler and Myles Gaskin last year, special teams coordinator Matt Daniels is pushing for Rodgers to take on that role. His speed and vision could be a game-changer on kickoffs. Should we let Rodgers loose on returns, or keep him fresh for defense? Weigh in below. The stakes are high for Rodgers in 2025. With Stephon Gilmore and Shaquille Griffin off the roster, he's got a golden opportunity to lock down that CB2 spot. But it's not a sure thing. Jeff Okudah is also in the mix, and a late free agent signing could shake things up. Still, Rodgers' early camp performances have coaches and fans buzzing. ESPN's Kevin Seifert called him a pleasant surprise after he picked off McCarthy in OTAs. Can he hold off the competition? As we head toward the season opener against the Bears, Rodgers is itching to get started. He tweeted, "Can we start the season already?" And I'm right there with him. With training camp in full swing and joint practices showing off his skills, Rodgers is proving why he was the Vikings' first free agent signing this offseason. The man's ready to ball out at Soldier Field. What's your bold prediction for our Week 1 showdown? All right, Vikings Nation, it's time to wrap this up, but the excitement's just getting started. Isaiah Rodgers is bringing speed, swagger, and Super Bowl dreams to Minnesota, and I'm all in for this ride. Can he and this revamped defense take us to the promised land? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop M in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Share this with your fellow Skol fans, and let's keep the purple pride roaring. Skol Vikings!